CBC News has learned some new details about the Canadian strategy when it comes to responding to Donald Trump's tariff threat, including a list of potential retaliatory tariffs. That news comes a day after Trump said this.
No. Economic force. Because Canada and the United States, that would really be something. You get rid of that artificially drawn line, and you take a look at what that looks like. And it would also be much better for national security. Don't forget, we basically protect Canada. Why are we supporting a country, $200 billion plus a year? Our military is at their disposal. All of these other things, they should be a state.
Okay, today, more fallout from that answer. The CBC's Katie Simpson joins us again from Washington. So, Katie, tell us more about what you're learning about the Canadian response to Trump's tariff threat.
So there is a list circulating in Ottawa among officials, a confidential list, with all of the different American-made products that Canadian officials are considering targeting should Canada have to retaliate against Donald Trump and if he imposes those tariffs. Remember, Donald Trump threatened to impose 25% tariffs on both Canada and Mexico unless there were significant improvements made to border security, lumping the challenges at the border, both the northern border and the southern border together, even though they're very different situations, saying he was going to do it on his first day in office. Well, ever since that threat was made, officials in Ottawa have been working to figure out how they would respond if Donald Trump makes good on that threat. And it is expected to be some sort of tit-for-tat retaliation, at least one aspect of it. And this is according to a senior Canadian government source. It's that kind of style of retaliation. So there is a list of all of these American-made goods that Canada is considering. The list is not yet finalized, but some of the items on that list include a wide range of steel and aluminum products, ceramics like sinks and toilets, glassware, flowers, types of plastics, and Florida orange juice. Now, some of these items are going to be selected strategically, and that is in the hopes of extracting maximum political leverage. The last time Canada had to impose tariffs on the United States, you'll remember, it was during Trump's first administration. They picked items that would not have a significant impact on Canadians, because remember, when you do put tariffs on goods, usually the increase in cost is passed on to the consumer. So they tried to pick things that were not going to hurt the everyday expenses of Canadians, but would also extract maximum political leverage. So they picked items from the state of Kentucky. Why? At the time, the ambassador Kelly Craft's from Kentucky. So was Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. This go around, some of the items are being selected to send a message as well. Those steel products, I'm told many of them are made in Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania. Michigan and Pennsylvania are considered swing states. Ohio is solidly Republican territory right now. And then, of course, Florida orange juice. That is meant to send a message to the heart of Trump's adopted home state and really right now the new center of American power. Again, I am told this is according to a senior Canadian government source, and the items could change. Right. Of course, Canada hopes it doesn't have to respond and hopes that those tariffs aren't imposed. But as CBC News has previously reported, people around the Prime Minister are increasingly concerned Trump's mind is made up and he's going to go ahead and do it. Yeah, that's certainly the sense around the Premier's table, too, right? I wonder, though, Katie, in the United States, Donald Trump's saying a lot of things. I mean, his Trump's about Canada and using economic force to force us to join the country. I mean, how are Americans responding to that? Well, within Trump's circle and the lawmakers who are Republicans, who are big Trump supporters, you're hearing a lot of support for that. Fox News, for example, is talking about this quite frequently. The big story down here right now is those horrific fires, the wildfires in California. But this story is still getting a lot of traction and some space and time on those American cable news networks. We know the president-elect really enjoys watching cable news, particularly Fox News. But I want to play a clip for you of a Republican lawmaker from Texas. He was actually on CNN today, and he sort of spoke of what he sees, what he took away from Donald Trump's comments yesterday, not just about Canada, but also about Greenland and the Panama Canal.
President Trump is bringing us into a golden age of America. This is the new manifest destiny. I think that the people of Greenland, I think that the people of Canada, for that matter, should be honored that President Trump wants to bring these territories in under the American fold.
Manifest destiny.
Yeah.
We did hear that. And then also that's sort of a similar tone that we heard from some U.S. cable news hosts on Fox News. Doug Ford was on the Jesse Waters program on Fox News. He's an opinion host in that primetime lineup of Fox. And he was asking Doug Ford questions along the line, or saying things, making statements along the lines of, isn't it insulting as an American that you don't want to join us? That was kind of the tone he was taking. He is an opinion host, and so it's a different sort of, it's not like a straight up news anchor job. But that's sort of the tone we're hearing in those corners of the world about what people think about Donald Trump's comments.
Yeah, it's something. We should be honored. Katie, I am honored that you take the time to be on the show every time we ask. That's the CBC's. That's the CBC's Katie Simpson in Washington.